Is that what you say?
Croissant.
Soissons, croissant nerve.
Croissant.
What you're trying to say is croissant, but I don't know what you're trying to
Croissant.
say after that. So,
I heard a croissant nerve. That's what I heard.
what is a
Sounds like a song.
nerve?
No, 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 c'est quoi? C'est quoi?
That's what I heard. Croissant nerve.
Did you guys had French school or a French lesson at school?
Nope. We had Spanish, and that
Actually,
was it.
French, but that was like a long time ago.
Mm.
Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept. Yeah.
I mean, English is mandatory here, but it's like Spanish is like optional.
that, I won't say it, but yeah, that it needs to be mandatory. English needs to be mandatory.
You guys are
Yeah.
funny. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the intro. And 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, gamers, to another episode of Experience Podcast. And don't forget, gamers, to
Level up.
level up.
All right. Okay. Today on the Experience Plus podcast, it is episode 69, and the episode is titled "Well Done Gaming." And today's date is January 19th, 2025. And I am joined today by a Blackout.
It's your boy.
That's it. Just your boy.
It's your boy Blackout. What's up, y'all?
I'm gonna start calling you the Frenchless Wonder.
Wow. I'm more French than you.
Actually, it's probably not true. And we're also joined by our French Canadian brother KEB. What's up, my man?
It's your other boy. You know, the other one from Canada up north.
You're supposed to say all that in French. That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You ready?
Hit it.
All right, I'm gonna hit it. C'est votre autre enfant. Boy means child. It's you don't really say that in French, honestly, but
Okay, you just messed it up because we would have had no idea. You could have said anything you wanted.
Jesus Christ! And I tried to tell you guys French.
Anything you wanted, you messed it up. Too late.
Right?
All right,
Too late.
we're moving on. Today we're going to be chatting about all the things that games have done right recently and over the years. And in the background, I'm going to be playing one of the games that did it right almost all the way through, freaking Mario Odyssey. So yeah, got to get a nice outfit on because I'm going to the Snow Kingdom. I'm gonna be cold. Gonna be cold otherwise.
You're
Joe,
coming to
what was that?
You're coming to Canada.
I'm coming to Canada. There you go, aka Canada. All right, Jones, why don't you kick us off with some of the things that games have done right in your opinion?
Well, see, okay, we're gonna start off. Mine is not necessarily a game, but just games in general. And my number one thing would be allowing you to save anywhere. Now,
Okay.
and this mainly was looking at like RPGs of the ills, like Final Fantasy IV and games like that, where you have to grind a lot, and you can only like if you're not on the world map, you can only save in those very specific spots. And like, although I did like the nuance of having like the save point where you use like a tent and a cabinet to like heal yourself, the fact is sometimes those areas be real hard, and like you might be grinding for like an hour just trying to get a special drop item or something like that, or just grinding for XP, and then all of a sudden, before you get back to that save point, you run into you get like pinched attacked or something like that. You get the super hard 1% spawn that can like one shot you, and you can't run from it, and you die.
That drives me crazy. Even worse than that is when you like level the flip up, like when you're going. Like this is before like games were able to autosave. And you're like going, you're doing your thing, and you level up like 3-4 times, and you get cocky, and then you get that one enemy that has that one skill that you have not come across yet, like especially in Final Fantasy, like the petrify skill. Oh, that drives me insane. And then they just take you out little by little because you have no defense against it.
You're pretty much dead.
I'm like, damn it, Bob, where'd you go?
It sounds like you actually had like a first-hand experience right there with Petrify.
1,000%. I think it was Final Fantasy 4 or 5. Which one was the one you told me to play? I keep forgetting.
Probably 4.
Yeah.
Four is the scary one.
It was 4. Yep, that happened. But the good thing about that game is they got a lot of other things to help mitigate those issues and those problems. But we'll talk about that later. KB, how about you, brother?
I believe, are we talking about, well, it's not a game in particular, but I believe that you have more accessible thing when you're playing a game. Like, I will say, like just you can customize Mario if you want to. That's a nice little touch that they did for Odyssey. I will just talk about Odyssey, but in other games like Spider-Man 2 decide to do the same thing, even Spider-Man 1. I will say the accessibility, the access of the way to be more comfortable when you're playing a game. Like, I could talk about a 14 all night long, but that could be a great example. No, it's serious.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, we already had like 6 episodes on 14 already.
Yeah, well, it's basically like they used to add that. Back in the 2000, when I was playing another MMO, which is 11, we didn't have mount. Like, it's supposed to take you at some place faster or even teleport. There's like, it's other accessibilities that you can get. And this is what I did like about new games, and there's plenty of new stuff that's not coming out online. But I will say that, yeah, it's like, you're more comfortable when you're playing a video game. I'm not saying those late games sucks balls, but don't get me wrong. When you play Double Dragon on NES and you run out of life at stage 4, you have to start all over again. Yeah, that's...
And also, too, when there's no floor sandwiches.
Exactly.
You mean like the roasted chickens just be on the ground, the streets of rage?
There's no full turkey dinners on the ground inside a trash can that some rich family just threw away. So it's just...
Oh, just Castlevania, the pork chop in the wall.
What'd you say, Jones?
I said there's some reasons to be hot too. I'm pretty sure those things be hot.
They do be smoking. That's because it's a hot crime on the streets, baby. That's what it is. One of my first ones that I have is something that I've been coming across more recently in video games, and that's the ability to take out low-level enemies quickly. Now, of course, in almost all our RPGs that we play over the years, you know, we have to do a lot of backtracking, and we go through different areas, and then you got to fight those same mobs over and over and over again, whether it be a traditional RPG or like an action RPG. It's not so bad in action RPGs, I guess, because you know you can take them out in one or two hits, and it's actually, I like that because when you get stronger and you come back to those monsters and you fight them later on, it's like, yeah, now I'm gonna kick your butt in one or two hits, and that's really satisfying. But in traditional RPGs, that's just annoying. Even if you can beat them in a couple of hits, it's still like, come on, man.
Just gotta wait for all that.
What'd you say?
And then you can finally attack about that part. So it's like you have like 15 seconds of the cutscene, you know, the screen changing, the panning in on the stupid enemies before you can even attack. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like sometimes they just be a ugh.
So in Persona 5, that was the first game that I personally came across this. So as soon as this game was long as hell to begin with, it's over like 100 hours. But once you get to a decent level, like level 20, level 30, whatever, and then you come across these older enemies, you can literally hit them on the overworld, and they'll just fly, and you'll get the experience points, and you'll get money for beating them like that. So you don't have to go into battle to do it. You could just do it just like that, and this is fantastic. Oh, there it goes. That's where I gotta take that damn seed. But yeah, it was something that I always hoped for. I always hoped for in games, but that was the first game to like really do it. Metaphor ReFantazio does it very well too. They do the exact same thing, but they just do it much better. And as long as you're like 3 or 4 levels above the enemy, you can easily just take them out in the overworld with no problem, and you get all the experience you would if you went into a full fight. So that way, it's quicker to level up and get money. The enemies don't respawn as much in those dungeons because of that fact, but they still respawn. So you can still grind that out and get it done that way. You know what I mean?
And that kind of actually goes on the line. It's not quite the same, but like in Final Fantasy 11 and to a degree in 14 as well. Like if because there's gonna be the enemies, they aren't gonna just despawn for you. But like if you're so much stronger than the enemy, they won't attack you. Like in Final Fantasy 11, they had like a gauging system where it's like you can judge it being like too weak, not very strong, up to like extremely strong or unable to gauge their strength. But that unable to gauge is for notorious monsters, so that doesn't quite count the same. Basically, if it's like too weak or like easy prey, they won't attack you unless you do something like dumb, like just sit down right in front of them. They will not attack you. That is like it's similar. It's not quite what you're talking about, but it's kind of the same thing where you don't want to deal with every little stupid enemy that comes around in the world. And in 14, you get to be like 10 levels above them, but 14 is a different game altogether.
There's been so many times, like the first, I can't remember what area that is, but the first time I got to that one wooded area, not the initial area outside Gridania, but the one that has like the level 20 antelopes, whatever. Once I got there, I was like, please don't.
Trout.
What was that?
Sounds like South Trout.
Yep, South Trout. Once I got there, I literally just like ran through because I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to defeat any of those monsters on my first try, and that's when I first started with Egan. So it was just like, come on, man. It was like these guys are way overpowered. There's no way I'm beating them.
It's a nice addition that we can say that most of the RPG that they put, like remastered or remake even. No, not remake, because I cannot really put Final Fantasy VII into this, but let's just talk about the pixel remaster that you talked about that earlier a little bit.
About the fact that I hate.
They did modify, they did make the game a little bit more easier for you can boost your experience, you can boost your
Yep.
I do believe your attack, or you can put encounter off, or some things like that. I love that so much. It's great. Yeah, because basically it can get a little bit annoying with Final Fantasy's random invincible mobs that will attack you. Like definitely, but yeah, that's a thing that they add. We didn't have that back then. Like, yeah, it's like. It's most likely a good thing that they put it. I technically never really use it because I tend to play it the OG style, but that's me. But someone who didn't have any experience with that game before, or any other games that had that option, yeah, definitely, they should definitely use it.
So, because the game is so old school, and the fact that, a lot of those games are very hard to go back to. Very hard to go back to. But with those things that they allow us to use, I use it to level up because I've talked about this before. I'm an older gamer, don't have time to be sitting there and leveling up for 20, 30, 40 hours just to get past one dungeon. So I would turn on the XP boost, and I would go to a dungeon, and I would grind to level up. I'll fight the bosses normal with no problem, but getting through those like early mobs, I just grind them out. And also too, if I'm going to an area that I don't know, I will turn off those battles because I have no idea what I'm going to encounter. You never know what you're going to run into, and that's happened to me way too many times. Especially if you're on the overworld and you go into like a freaking forest, and like it's like well known that the middle of the damn forest is always something crazy.
Well, it's also known that if you cross a bridge, you're gonna take on some hard enemies. Almost any game,
Yep.
any RPG ever, you cross that bridge, you're gonna run into some stronger enemies.
You learned that in Chrono Trigger.
Chrono
God.
Trigger. I think early Final Fantasy did that too. I think you mentioned something about that in Xeno Blade, or something like that. I think you were you were that was like on your anti list a couple of years ago when we did a video. You're like, all of a sudden the enemies went from like level 5 to level 50.
No, that was Octopath Traveler. That was Octopath Traveler because and it goes by. It's one of those screen by screen games, and then like one screen is like level 3 enemies, and then you go down one screen to some kind of abandoned area, and they go to level 50, and it doesn't tell you that until you fight the freaking monsters, and then you see how they one shot you, and just like, come on, man, it gets a little crazy. I think I got that one already. Okay, I got that one. All right, Jones, what's next for you?
Well, let's see. Number 2 on my list. I'm going to go on ahead and say, and you know there's gonna be something latest Pokemon per video because it's on roll. But just how like in the newer Pokemon games they let you access your storage from anywhere rather than going all the way to a Pokemon Center where you have to go to the stupid computer and then access it because. Let's face it. Sometimes you be like in the middle of a freaking dungeon or something like that, and all of a sudden you find out you don't have the items you need to go. You got to go all the way out the dungeon. You got to backtrack for like who knows how long. You might lose in the process of doing it. It's just so much easier to have your whole team at your disposal. They didn't completely do that in Legends Arceus, but there was an NPC in like every area, so you didn't have to go too far to do it. So I just think in general, item management has definitely gotten better in the newer game.
That is definitely one that is on my list too, and I'm looking at you, Resident Evil. I think we talked about this recently, playing freaking Tetris.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
we
I
talked about last week. So infinite freaking inventory is a must in any game. It's a freaking game. There's no need to have inventory management at all. No need.
Talk to Baggin. Talk to Baggin from Legends Arceus, where he literally, you want to get a bag upgrade? It'll cost you 1,000. That's fine for like, then it's 2,000. Then it's like 5,000. And this jackass just keeps on going. My inventory's at like 80, and he's still trying to charge me, but it's like 2 million money for like one, not 5 inventory plus 1 inventory. He's a freaking con artist. That's what he is. They better get rid of that in freaking part. VA. They better get rid of that. They just give us infinite inventory. Because most of the stuff we just have to craft and everything. Anyway, there's no reason that we didn't have infinite inventory. That's another thing. You think about it. Like in the original Pokemon games, the Game Boy ones. Dude, so look, the first time when you played through a game when I was a kid, I didn't notice it. But like, as I went back and played it like last year on the Virtual Console version. It's like it is terrible how the inventory works in those games. It's like you literally can't pick up every item in the game because you'll run out of inventory. Like you can't like hoard items and stuff like that. You basically gonna have to use it or sell it or do something with it because there's more items than you have inventory in the game. Because like you can only carry like 20 items, but then you can only put like 40 items in the PC. So it's just broken. It is literally broken. Like you can actually get to a point where you can't continue the game because you need an item to move on, and you don't have space for the item. It's so stupid. Yep, so yes, I am very glad for the future games that don't have inventory issues. Inventory is stupid. Give us infinite inventory. I'll even go along with that.
InfiniteInventory.com is a website.
But Resident Evil still have inventory issues, but it's part of the game. It's definitely part of the game. If you rather to have 12 launcher in your pocket, like it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's part of the game being survival and stuff. But I do agree that other games don't have that addition into the game, and which is completely normal and totally fine with me too.
Okay, you say that's a thing, but Silent Hill survival horror. It did not have an inventory system. I'm pretty sure anything you had, you could pick it up in Silent Hill. I don't think that there was an inventory screen.
I never played Silent Hill, to be honest, so I can't speak to it. But, that was a different type of survival horror, right?
No, it was basically
It's,
the same as the old school Resident Evil. It was like, you know, the original Resident Evil. Silent Hill was like that, except it wasn't
Ooh,
the top down. I
that was
mean,
close.
it didn't have the. It wasn't. It was basically Silent Hill and Resident Evil in the original games were basically the same type of game, survival horror. It was, you know, it was you know, directed differently, but it was basically the same type of game.
Gotcha.
Actually, to be precise, Silent Hill was more survival in the survival horror than Resident Evil was. Resident Evil was more horror into the survival horror, I guess I would say, because Resident Evil was a bit more actiony. Like Silent Hill, you actually felt like a normal human being.
I got you.
Another suggestion that I did like about what they did with some video games is basically when you're buying a new game or they're trying to make a remake of it, most of these games decide to put the nostalgia back. Like, let's just say, let me be clear with that, is like they decide to put the classic soundtrack. Like, I will say that I've decided to do a Street of Rage all the way. I told you guys that yesterday. And I saw the option of having the classic feel of Streets of Rage into the game, or you can have the modern soundtrack. They did the same with Resident Evil 2 remake, which was yeah, you could enter the police station, like the eerie, the sound, the classic sound that they used to. That was a big plus for me because you can feel the nostalgia coming back.
I was about to say, I thought you would like something like that.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, I got you. Good. So you're saying it's a good thing? Okay, I understand.
Yeah. Am I in the right week?
Yeah, you're in the right week.
So basically, he's saying having options is always a good thing.
Yep, especially if you want to relive the old school glory days. I got you. Yep, a lot of remakes do that. Especially, I mean, the last one I played that did that was Chrono Cross. So, damn it, I keep dying. My next two are kind of go together. So, auto pickup is a thing, and auto crafting is a thing. I died again. I need to leave this stage. Auto crafting and auto pickup. The first game to do that well that I experienced in was the second. Oh, am I drawing a blank? I do this all the time. The Last of Us, the second Last of Us. They did a great job with that. That game had some of the best accessibility options that I've ever seen in any video game ever. And we could definitely do an episode about that later on too, because it's so great that they have these inclusions for people who might have disabilities, you know what I mean? Because that's not something that a lot of developers were really aware about growing up, or that they really paid attention to. So, and you know, I'm not fully understanding, but with the times being the way they are, you know, the gamers are, ooh, don't die. Gamers are all inclusive. You know, there's all kinds of gamers out there with different types of disabilities. Don't die. I'm gonna die.
I don't remember that Odyssey's been more that intense.
Doing a really tricky part. I need to go back out. But no, in Last of Us 2, yeah, because you play a game for like 40 hours, you know, and you get, I mean, if you want to do everything, like I try to do in those types of games, but you get tired of pushing the circle button to pick everything up, and then sometimes you miss things, and then when it comes to auto crafting, especially like mid-battle, that's like one of the best things in the world because, don't die. Because when you run out of ammo or you run out of bombs to use, come on.
Talking about Monster Hunter now.
What happened?
I said you're talking about Monster Hunter now.
And Monster Hunter as well. Yeah. That just, it helps so much when you're mid-battle and you get to have that option. So the fact that they added those to games is just, it's so freaking good. And there's been many times, like since we're talking about Monster Hunter, I'll switch to it. Many times I was mid-battle and I ran out of a high potion or whatever, and I was able to like pick up a a material that I needed, and it just did it by itself, and I was able to just keep on continuing fighting the monster with no problem. And it saved my butt, especially mid-hunt. So, oh, I didn't get this one. Nice. Give me that. Give me that moon. Give me that moon, baby. So,
I
yeah.
honestly believe that because of our age nowadays, we're not. Great news, guys. We're not kids anymore. But I mean, we get old, and yeah, it's like, as an example, putting having the ability to pick up everything that the game will instead of you pressing. It's just a lazy thing, but still, it's pretty much very,
Well,
useful.
again, it's not just a lazy thing because as an occupational therapist, one of my scopes of practice is to assist people in doing things that they love, basically. Okay, so if I come across if I have a child as a patient, which I have had before, many kids I treated in my day, and sometimes they have hand issues. Sometimes they have deformed hands, or sometimes they have issues with energy to where they can't play for like hours and hours and hours. You understand? So something like that, it just makes it easy to extend their gaming time and enjoyment with the game. So it's not just a lazy thing. I mean, for us, it might be, yeah, but for them, it's definitely not.
It's definitely what I was trying to say. Is like, for us,
I
it's being
gotcha.
lazy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm being lazy in most of my games, right? Very lazy. And I could ask the same for Eric, but it was like, Eric always gonna blame me for being lazy to make some macro on 14 for making some crafting stuff.
Oh, look, I'm an old school throwback. I like to make things harder for myself. I'm a masochist, okay?
We know, Mr. Burn
Yeah.
Your Tongue all the damn time. We know.
But what I will say is, even I wish certain games had auto pickup after a while. Like, look, maybe you don't get it right away, but like at least let you unlock it. Like you pick up 10,000 items, you can unlock auto pickup because yeah.
I mean,
like,
in The Last of Us, you could just turn it off and turn it back on. It's up to you. You
no,
do
I get what you said.
you do what you want to do. Real quick, Jones, if you check the feed, you can see the Goomba in Mario Odyssey that we were talking about yesterday.
Oh boy,
I'm getting chased by one now, but
let's look at the Goomba.
they're so cute.
That was like Mario 64. That's already.
No,
Wait.
that's mine.
Oh damn it! What are you here? Lord.
Let me know when you're checking it out, so I can face the screen.
Okay, I'm on yours now. There's nothing showing, but I'm on yours.
What?
Wait, never mind. You're on the other screen. I think. Oh, hold on. No, like right now, maybe it's this screen. There's like too many screens. Vince is messing everything up.
It's there.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's one of
I'm
those.
watching your screen, but it ain't showing nothing. It's just showing your face. Like it's.
Hold on, let me
No,
just
dude, you
close
gotta click on the live stream.
I will wait. Look, the only live stream I actually see is Vince's. That's why I got confused. I
there.
don't see yours.
There's two
Should
live streams
be-
going on, which I didn't know you can do that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one now.
Dang it! Hold on.
But you can jump.
You're killing me,
You said
Jones.
Oh wait, there it is. Okay, now we're there. Oh, that was way prettier than Super Mario 64.
You see him?
I sort of do remember something about this now. Yeah. I remember three being on top of each other. Oh, right, because Cappy just, yeah, okay. I need to start. I'm going to just start from the beginning.
You guys are a mess. And a half.
You didn't do nothing. I'm
Still-
a mess. All right.
Still a mess and a half. All right. What's the next one, Jones, for you?
I got, so, let's see. I had it, and then I forgot. Let's go to Vince, and we'll come back to me in a second. I
I
literally
will
forgot how
say-
wicked this hat.
I will say, like Eric just mentioned it, it's a good thing because technology evolved through the years, but I will say the quality. There was many games that the quality in the game, in terms of graphic or even just the quality of the frame, was horrible back then.
Hmm.
But nowadays, like people tend to render the quality to make it better.
About that.
Some games, it's like it makes the game much more beautiful. Monster Hunter, they Capcom doing a nice job into this. I think I never really play a Monster Hunter game. Sorry, guys.
Go check out the demo. I mean, the beta, dude. It is gorgeous. They did a great job.
Exactly. It's like it's gorgeous and Batman Arkham Knight compared to these other three that they used to have, Asylum, City, and Origin. They did a fine job. I can understand it's another console and the console could take more power into it, but still, they
Yeah,
did a fine job.
I think that really
It's beautiful.
depends on the developers and whatnot, because I've seen some PS2 games that look even better than PS4 games. Like, honestly,
Oh yeah.
like for real.
Definitely. It's like we're not talking about GTA Definitive Edition, that's for sure. I think it's horrible the way that they did it, but I will say that when you say that there's other PS2 games that are better than PS4 or PS3 games, and it is true. Like I did love what they did with Mario 64. Just look at the difference with Odyssey. I can understand it's another generation and everything like that. But still, back then it was a great thing to be able to play a video game on 3D. With we all thought that it was pretty much HD, which yeah,
Yep.
but that's HD. What you're playing, that's not HD. But it's like still, I did like that they add like better quality into video games. Yeah.
And the developers can definitely surprise us sometimes, because Luigi's Mansion 3 is one of the prettiest games I've ever seen, period. And that's coming from the Switch, and that's crazy to say. It
Switch
really.
can
You have
pull
the
off
game.
stuff sometimes when
What'd
they
you
want to. I said Switch can pull off some business when it wants to.
Mhm.
When it wants to, because like Breath of the Wild was a great looking game at the time.
Yeah, at the time, yes. I mean, it hasn't. To be honest, it hasn't held up.
Yeah, I did say at the time, but hey, at least it ain't Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Well, Nintendo did a great job. Even like many people would say that it's probably not the Twilight Princess is way.
You got hit, bro. You got hit.
It's
Hey,
beautiful. It's
Damn it.
beautiful
Distracted
in
me.
terms of. I'm sorry.
No, not you.
Oh, but I will say that what they did with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I honestly think is beautiful. It's beautiful the way that they did, and it's running on the Switch. Like,
They pushed the Switch pretty far considering what they had to work with. So like, there's no excuse for some of the games to be as bad as they are when they know that they can make a good game.
I mean,
wow,
dude, you can
definitely.
you can see the stitching on Luigi's overalls in that game. It is crazy. Crazy.
Oh, yeah, when you zoom in,
I mean, no, even when you don't zoom in, like, honestly, even if you just leave the screen on idle where it is, you don't have to zoom in. I was able to see all those details. His hair, the ghosts, everything. Like that detail in that game is just crazy. A lot of times
I
I
think
just.
I honestly think that you can see that on Odyssey as well. I think.
We're talking about Odyssey. Oh wait, no.
No, I'm talking about,
We're talking about Mario. We're talking about Luigi's Mansion
talking about
3.
Luigi's Mansion. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Luigi'sMansion3.com. It's a website. My next one is dialogue between characters. So a lot of RPGs I played recently, like Tales of Arise, Guardians of the Galaxy, stuff like that, they have constant dialogue between the characters. Like, it don't matter if they're just walking around, and even in battle, the enemies are constantly talking to each other. And like in Tales of Arise, they did a fantastic job with that because it made it more engaging. So like, and they do that in Final Fantasy Rebirth too. But in Tales of Arise, they did a great job because like when your teammate did like a certain move or a certain skill, the other teammate would comment on that skill and how it took out the enemy, and it's just like, man, that is so engaging and so satisfying. It made it more realistic, you know.
Yeah, those do feel good when they do that in games like that.
Yes. Now back in the
Even
day,
Final Fantasy does it to a degree, but not nearly as much. And not this expansion either. They kind of dropped the ball in Dawn Trail. But like before that, like if you did trust and did the dungeons, like the
Mhm.
NPCs would be talking, like making comments about stuff, and like depending on who you brought with each other, they might have specific things or
Great.
like have banter.
A
Mhm.
great example would have been Metal Gear Solid. That
Okay.
they
Yeah.
used to call you
Yep.
to give you into how to defeat. I don't know if you ever played a Metal Gear
Oh yeah,
Solid.
I played the original on PlayStation 1, and I played
All
Part
right.
2 and beat it, and I never played Part 3. But
Nobody played Part 3 originally, but you can amend that when it comes out. The remake.
why didn't anybody play Part 3 originally?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I don't know, but that was kind of like near the
Why
end of the
anybody?
PlayStation 2's lifespan because that's why most people just didn't play it. I think Greg's like the only person I know who played Metal Gear Solid 3 initially.
Oh, are you talking about between us? Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought you said like no one
I
played.
was
I'm like,
like,
wait a minute.
Nah,
What's
definitely
that?
not
yeah,
nobody. But I
I
mean,
just
out of
played like a
Part
couple
3.
months ago. I just played it on the Master Collection, but yeah,
Yeah, you're a Metal Gear crackhead, though. That's it.
love the series. Really
And
love
I
the
didn't know
series.
you when Metal Gear Solid 3 came out.
Damn it! Fantastic series, yes, and the remake is going to be insane. I cannot wait to play it myself for the first time.
Just need a release date.
But yeah, but like I was saying, the best game that ever did that, in my opinion, that I literally almost skipped work for and just could not stop playing, and that shocked the hell out of me, was Guardians of the Galaxy for PS5. Like I had no idea that game was going to be as good as it was. No clue. I didn't expect it because
A lot of people did like that game.
I didn't like the way the characters looked because I'm a Marvel head and I'm used to those characters.
Marblehead.
So when those characters came out looking like they did, I was like, eh. But then from the very start of that game to the very end, like you don't get enough of them talking to each other. It don't matter if it's in battle or in between cutscenes or you just walking around. They're always talking to each other. They're always saying something funny. They're always commenting on things that you just did or things that you should be doing. And I thought initially that it would get annoying, but nope. Not even a little bit. It was insightful, it was funny, and it cemented the relationship that these guys had established within the game itself.
See, we call that synergy.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I agree. But yeah, I love seeing more and more of that in games and RPGs. How am I supposed to get over
I
there?
have the game, but it's still sealed. I never had the chance to
Play
play Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I heard a great score about that game. I
Start to
remember back
finish.
then I did play the Avenger with Square Enix making
Eh,
Marvel
heard that one
game,
wasn't that good.
and
That was super,
horrible.
man.
Yeah, that's why I backed out a little bit on Marvel's game, but yeah,
I think I have Guardians of the Galaxy unopened for the PlayStation 5 Entertainment System.
Yep, that's definitely one to play. If you got it, check it out. Had a great
it's in
time.
Square Enix as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I think so too.
Guardians of the Galaxy game. It's not working right now for some reason. PS5.
Anyways, I actually do remember what I was gonna say now. So, one of my things that I didn't really learn about this until when we went, when we were playing Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat
it was
1.
Square Enix.
Uh,
Go ahead, Jones.
Oh, well, yeah. So like, and I didn't really realize how much I needed this until we were playing Mortal Kombat 1 that time. So look, back in the day, I loved trying to figure out how to do freaking like fatalities and stuff. But in today's day and age, I don't have time to remember random combinations. Look, it's one thing to learn special moves. That's fine because I hate those one-button special moves. But some people like that crap and it helps them. So I won't dispute it completely. Although I feel like if you're doing it like that, it should be where you play against people that you either play with easy mode on or off, because I think it's kind of unfair when easy mode can take on like expert people. They just go, Hadouken, Hadouken. I'm looking at you, Vince. This is our time in Street Fighter 6.
Don't
But
know
no,
what
that's
you're
what I'm
talking
trying
about.
to say. I love how, like, in Mortal Kombat 1, I'm pretty sure other Mortal Kombat you can do it as well. You can basically unlock fatalities where you don't have to, like, put in the combination. You just press the button and you do it. Because, look, fatalities, that's more of a plus. Like, that, you already won the match. So, getting that fatality. That's the sweet this, but it doesn't take away from your win or loss. So it is great that you can just like unlock it and just press one button to do the fatality instantly. I think that is a great feature that more games should learn from.
I think they did add that. Yeah, I think they did add that into the Mortal Kombat. I know that we had that on MKX or XL, that you go into the combat conquests outside the storyline and stuff, and you get token that you can use to make easy fatalities. So yeah, but I do remember that back then, like with the PlayStation, there was a code that you could just add for making easier fatality, because yeah, trying to remember all those code that input that you put on your controller is like basically it's mostly annoying, and you need to have a great memory for that.
It's just like
you gotta be in the right spot. You gotta be in the exact spot that you're supposed to be in, the right distance, and then then they only give you like 0.5 seconds to do it.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta try, you gotta hope it's one of the games you can pause out, because as soon as you see that picture, like hold on, I gotta get my paper out. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. So look, I did make bank back in the day because I was that kind of person who always found a way to make $1. So I would basically sell special moves and stuff to my friends, especially in Mortal Kombat. I used to sell like they had like the cheat sheet basically. It had a character special move and their finishers, and like I think I charged like $0.25 for most of them, but then I think I charged like $2 for Shang Tsung because that was ridiculous. That took like forever to make a page up.
Okay, Justin Wong, that's fine. We know that you're good at fighting games.
Well, yeah, but like in general, like nowadays, you think about it, pretty much every fatality in Mortal Kombat was like putting in a code. Like, come on, it's like left, right, down, right, circle. Like, how can you actually? I mean, I had a good memory. I remembered a lot of these things back in the day, but even I couldn't remember every single fatality. It's like now, you know, today and age where it's like it's like nobody's got time for this anymore. Come on.
Yep.
So yeah, again, I'm glad that's why they basically let you unlock it, and I think they've been doing it for like a majority of the Mortal Kombat games. I think Mortal Kombat 10 and maybe even DC versus Mortal Kombat, whatever that franchise is called. I think they might have did it too, but like pretty much around that time frame is when they've been doing it. I know, like, you know, like I said, Mortal Kombat has been doing it, but I don't know about any other companies. But more people should do it. Like any game that has like, you know, special type moves like that should definitely do it.
1000%. One thing for you guys: input codes.
Wait, what about?
Let's just talk about cheating a little bit. Like
I hate them. Well,
I used to when I was a kid, you did. All right, you're a gamer. You did play a game trying those cheats just for the fun of it. Input codes. It's like, I remember just giving you the great example on Contra. Back then, you had what, 2.5 or 3 seconds to do it before the title, so you can get your 10 extra lives. Nowadays it's like, let's just give GTA 4 that they implement, they put that in the game. You just type in a phone number with your phone, and there you go, you got the code.
That I love. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, well, most of the game is like you press start, you get a section of cheater, and then you put the name of it, and even the game developer laughs at you. Like, if I remember correctly, Castlevania 2, the cheat code was called Help Me.
Okay.
Like, you cannot be more precise than this. You need that cheat code in terms of playing the game correctly and comfortable. Help me, yeah. It's like, or I need help, something like that. But funny. Yeah, putting those codes. I didn't like that back then with the controller, that you don't have time to do all these code, these input that you're trying to make. You don't have time. And you get nervous.
Well, it's because it gave you that feeling of, you know, you have to do it in a very specific amount of time, like down, up, left, right. Whatever the freaking code was in Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo. It's like down, up, left, right, A, B, or something like that. No, that's the double code. Down, up, left, A, right, down. No, that's the double code. I don't know. There was that one code where you had to do it to get the turbo, you know, the extra speeds in Street Fighter 2 Turbo. or let you play as the alternate character. I'm sorry, you can have mirror matches in the original Street Fighter 2, that kind of stuff. But
Also,
the
too,
plus side is they at least did it like at the very beginning of the game, so if you messed up, you just gotta reset or something like that.
when you get older, your reflexes ain't what they used to be. It's sad to say, but it is. I actually just demonstrated that a couple of seconds ago. a couple of seconds.
Yeah. I think we both demonstrated that when we were when I went to visit you.
That was funny. Another one for me, and this might be the last one for me, is something that's relatively new that I've been coming across is respecking. Like being able to reset all your skill points to put them wherever you want, anytime you want. I found that to be just so helpful and so amazing because it does produce a little anxiety, like when you have such a big skill tree, especially in like Assassin's Creed. They give you like 3 different skill trees, and one's like stealth, and one is power, and one is whatever, and you try to figure out where to put it. I didn't get this yet. I could have sworn I got it. You try to figure out where to put those points, but then like in Assassin's Creed Mirage, you can actually reset all your skill points whenever you want. You don't have to go to a special tent or a special, house or whatever. You can just push start, respec your character for whatever you want, for whatever suits the situation you're in. And that
Yep,
is...
you can get a Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth as well, which was definitely. I didn't really I haven't beaten it yet, but I haven't really found a reason to overly go back. But it just feels good, like if man, I want to get that. So you can just reset some stuff and do it the right way you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did that with Borderlands games. When you realize, like,
Okay.
oh, I'd like to try that tree skill because it looks badass. But at the end, I was like, no, I should have grabbed. They did that with Diablo. Right?
Look, I've been playing more Diablo than you. I'm gonna say this part. Yeah, they've definitely been doing that with Diablo 4 because look, Diablo 4 has a gigantosaurus size skill tree.
Yeah.
And then it even has like these things called Paragon points where like after you hit like the max level, you can still basically power yourself up even more. And that thing is so complicated, you really need a guide to understand it because there are so many options. But yes, it is so great that you can always just go back. Even though Diablo 4, they do charge you gold, in the in-game gold, like the regular gold that you get from killing enemies. And they give you so much money, it's like you're not even thinking about that. Like I got like I had like 20 million gold when I first hit level 60, and I was like a month ago, so I don't know how much gold I got now. So the money isn't really, important because you'll be able to afford it. But yes, the fact that you can go back and respec, and the fact that they have so many options in the first place, you almost have to respec to just figure out what you want to do. Because like sorceress, you can do like a chain lightning build, you can do like a fireball build. There's so many things you can do. You can do an ice build.
I can't remember if Baldur's Gate had that or not. I don't think they had that, right? Shit.
They should.
Baldur's Gate, it did have a skill tree, but it wasn't as...
No, a skill tree, but are you able to respec it? That's why I can't remember.
You could, you had to go to that creepy guy that comes to your camp to do it, but yeah, you can respec it.
True. Yep, I remember that. All right, any last ones for y'all?
Skin? No, I didn't mention that earlier. Not skin. Oh, you did sort of talked about that, but I will say in your inventory, the ability to auto sort.
Okay.
Like, let's just say that you get a bunch of crap in your inventory.
I use that all the time in Monster Hunter. All the time. Actually, I had to teach Eric how to do it.
But yeah, it's like having a bunch of crap, like you're looking at one specific crap, and you can't find it because you got more junk than you can even imagine. And in my true honest opinion, it happens to me a lot of time in many of the games, and I love that they that kind of option into video games nowadays, that you can auto sort your inventory. Not that because you can find your thing that you want fast, but it's also it doesn't look like a mess, like your bedroom or anything like that. It looks perfect.
Yeah, because in most games nowadays they just give you 1,600,000 things that doesn't matter and is never going to use, and it's like, come on now. Just want to
Yeah,
find out
exactly.
where this stuff is so I can get rid of it or sell it.
Wait,
Oh, that's actually another one real quick. Being able to when you go to shops to sell things, being able to actually sell all the sellable things at one time instead of having to go weed through your inventory to find out the things that are sellable or not. That is a pet peeve of mine for sure.
Unless you're a hoarder like me, that just likes to have all the items
Yes, we know.
and never likes to buy items.
Ever.
Again, I'm a masochist. I like to play games out hard. I make my own hard mode rules, basically.
Yeah, we know. And it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I'd probably be a further Final Fantasy VII Rebirth if I used items.
You probably would have beat quite a few games now if you would have not played on hard mode for most
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Fool,
It's
you
true.
fool.
I will have done the same, but I'm a let's call it an achievement whore in 14. So yeah, I need to do stuff that even Eric won't do. And
I still have
I
more
need to-
achievements than you. Yeah, there are stuff that I won't do, but I still have more achievements than you. But I'm not even trying to get every achievement in that game. There's too much. There's way too much.
but
AKA,
that will
anybody got
that will
time for
have-
that?
I literally would not be playing any game in my life besides 14 if I really tried to go for every achievement. I'm actually playing 14 in a very lazy way right now. It might not seem like it, but I don't play as much as you think I do. I be
will
AFK
have
on it,
said-
but I don't be playing it that often.
I will have said that if was not because of that, I will have more time to finish games.
Everybody would have more time to finish games if they weren't playing Final Fantasy 14. Dude, the freaking golden age of me was in between the time that I wasn't playing 11 before 14 came out. I was beating games left and right. Bam, platinum, bam, platinum, bam, platinum. That was like the early PS3 era. Look at my trophy list. I bet you see I have a crap ton of PlayStation 3 platinum.
Get back to
Yeah,
it,
I
brother.
have 2 or 3, I do believe.
Get back to it. Alrighty, guys. If there is nothing else, I gotta figure out how to get this key later on because I did not know there was a key down here. Okay, I gotta figure that out.
This is like the wall jump level. You probably just gotta like slide
No.
down from up high and then wall jump
you-
back
are
up
you
after
watching?
pick up the key.
Are you watching?
I'm watching, and I
There's
don't remember
there's
how.
a
Yeah,
key
I
that's
thought so.
in this
Looking right at it.
in this purple lava goo that I cannot jump onto. So I need to figure out what enemy can go down there so I can get it.
Okay, what's that? It looks like that's like a thing right there. Like, well, yeah,
That's a
that thing-
hatch. That's a hatch that the key goes into.
Oh.
You
Well,
know, on the top of the mountain, there's a glide person that lets you glide. Maybe
Yeah,
that's the way.
I can glide all day long, but it's like literally underneath this little nook.
I
see.
know.
But there's
Yeah,
no way.
get
that's
the
the
ice
thing.
flower. Get something. I don't know. Get on.
Not how that works. Anyway, guys.
Meanwhile, if you look at my stream right now, you can clearly see that Mario is sleeping. But yeah, that's because I
he's-
didn't touch a controller.
He is knocked out.
Yeah, he's knocked out.
I'm tired. That was actually a great thing.
I'm a sleepy boy. Alright, guys. Well, thanks for joining me in this episode. And until next time, gamers, keep on.
Leveling
Leveling
up.
up.
Yeet.